gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve, so this fall make a plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Our Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on Valspar Reserve or HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Infinity or Showcase Interior Paint via Lowe's gift card rebate. Whether you're painting one accent wall or want to freshen up a whole room, we've got you covered. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Valid through 9/4.
Save on O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner. Get 2 cans of O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner for just $8. Valid in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tune into Vern's On Deck Show 1 hour before first pitch on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City, a 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You're listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited, thrilled, delighted to be here with you on this very special Monday. There are some days that show you why you got into the profession that you got into, and ever since I was a kid, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to talk about sports on the radio in Kansas City. Little did I know I would grow up and I would get to live all my dreams. And today we have a Royals playoff game against the New York Yankees and Monday Night Football that will be happening concurrently at the same damn time. Today is the most special of Red Mondays and a Blue Monday, and we appreciate you guys making us a part of your Monday. All right, we don't have a lot of time today. We have to hand things off to the Chiefs pregame, so let me give you the itinerary because I don't want you to say that I didn't tell you. Today, the Chiefs game will be right here on 96.5 The Fan. The Royals game will be on 6:10 a.m., you know, the old frequency. So if you want to flip back and forth, if you want to listen to one or the other, I can't tell you what to do. I just want to give you all the tools to be prepared. The Chiefs will be on this station, 96.5 The Fan. The Royals will be on the AM side on 6:10 a.m. We are happy to have you covered here on our Odyssey stations. All right, we will get to both coming up after Rob gives you a chance to win a pizza.
Pizza time on The Drive. Carrington, dial me up right now. Call number 6, 913-586-7965. Call number 6 wins a pizza from our friends over at Pizza Tassio. Pizza Tassio is Kansas City's best New York-style pizza, and they have taken over the town. They lovingly use 100% whole milk mozzarella, all organic tomato sauce with locally grown, fresh ingredients, all made by Casey guys who both know and love pizza. They also have a killer selection of craft and local beers. So, Carrington, whether it's a slice or two or you're having some sort of massive watch party tonight for the postseason and a little Monday Night Football, be sure to visit them now at pizzatasio.com. That's pizza, Tascio.com.
I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend. I don't need you to tell two friends. Just tell one friend that if you are excited about the Royals, if you are excited about the Chiefs and you love pizza, then the best place to celebrate all three of those things are right here with us at 96.5 The Fan. Rob, I would like a special impromptu random Royals lineup. I don't think that we have ever had a random Royals lineup this deep into the season. I am excited for one of those. We'll get to that coming up in a bit. Now, on the first part, I'm going to tell you something that you already know, but it needs to be said. It needs to be discussed. Today is a must-win game for the Kansas City Royals. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, they got a home game coming up on Wednesday, and I'm excited for the home game on Wednesday. Hopefully, you got your tickets for Wednesday. Hopefully you've got your tickets for Thursday because they are playing in games 3 and games 4. Did you know that 72% of teams that win game 1 in a best-of-5 series go on to win said series? Now, there are 28% of teams that come back from a 0-1 deficit. We are talking about one game. If I had told you that the Royals their season would be riding on one game, and I will let you pick any pitcher on their team to start that game, what pitcher would you select? You would pitch the one that's picking today. Now, if I told you to pick a ballpark that was not their home ballpark that you thought had the capabilities of helping unlock this offense, which one would you pick? You probably also pick the one they are playing at tonight. Yankee Stadium is historic. It might be the most historic baseball stadium in the country, and there are some great ones with Fenway and Wrigley. Yankee Stadium is in that conversation. Even the new one is in that conversation. But let's make no mistakes what it is. That is a beer league softball stadium. You can hit a weak fly ball, and it can be a home run. If there is a game and an opportunity for you to go on the road and steal one, it is today with the starting pitcher that you have going. It is in that ballpark where can you get a home run from an MJ Melendez? Can you get a 2-run RBI single from Garrett Hampson? Can your stars play like stars? In game 1, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, and Salvador Perez went 1 for 14. I am not telling you something that you don't know. They cannot win this series without those 3 individuals. I don't care how great your pitching is. I don't care how great your bullpen is. You do not win this series without Bobby Witt Jr. being special, Salvador Perez contributing, and you getting a healthy and productive Vinny Pasquantino. So I told you, at least the Royals portion of this is pretty obvious. We'll talk about instant replay and how instant replay failed the Kansas City Royals on Saturday. But there is no crying over spilled milk. You were down 0-1 in this series. What is the pathway for you getting back into it? It includes a win in game 2. It doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't matter with whom you do it with. You have to figure out a way to get this series back to Kauffman Stadium on Wednesday, tied 1-1 for the best atmosphere that we have seen baseball related in Kansas City since the 2015 World Series. Kauffman Stadium will be rocking if the Royals have 2 home wins and they advance to the ALCS. That is in front of you. I have made the basketball analogy. We made that a lot in the second half of the season, how your team was up 11 and now they're up 3 and you got to get a stop. This is pivotal. There is a drastic difference in terms of your percentage chance to win this series being up or being down 2-0 or being tied 1-1 coming back home. Being down 1-1 coming back home, you got a shot to really do this thing. You really do. You got a shot to win this thing. You go down 0-2. Hey, it was a great season. We will all pat you on the head, and maybe you come back and do it. But boy, you are going to have the toughest uphill battle that this team has had at any point this season. This is the pitcher you want on the mound. Go out there and you got to figure out a way over the course of 27 outs to scratch out enough runs, pitch well enough. Your bullpen has to be a little bit better. Your stars have to be a little bit better. You got to get the first guy out. The Yankees had 7 of their 9 guys lead off the inning and get on base. You can't continue to put yourself behind the 8 ball the way that the Royals did in game 1 of this series. We will find out later tonight if they can bounce back. I think the story for the Chiefs today is a very simple one. How did they respond from the injuries, and who were they responding from the injuries with? And after Travis Kelce, if you were asking me, who on that offense right now do you trust? Who do you think is going to be a focal point? It is funny how it is a guy that was not on the team 3 weeks ago in Kareem Hunt. We all laugh and joke about the NFL being scripted. The NFL laughs and jokes about the NFL being scripted. Can't you see the script? It's right in front of us. Kareem Hunt, the prodigal son, returns home for Monday Night Football in the middle of one of the most jam-packed, enthusiastic Kansas City weekends that we have ever had on one of the biggest sports days that this city has ever had. And Kareem Hunt scores a touchdown on Monday Night Football and helps carry the Chiefs to a win. I mean, you can see that script being written. I mean, Steven Spielberg thinks that's unrealistic. Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, some of the greatest filmmakers of all time believe that that story is just a little bit too far-fetched, but it's sports. It happens all the time. I think Kareem Hunt's going to be a major factor in today's game. We gave you guys the stats last week. The Chiefs gave the ball to Carson Steele 2 times out of their first 5 plays. He fumbled. They ran the ball 18 times after that, and Carson Steele got 1 more touch. They, at that moment, started to shift and pivot to Kareem Hunt. And you know Vegas, they tend to know on these things. They are expecting that Kareem Hunt's going to be RB number 1 tonight. They are expecting him to get the touches. They are expecting him to get the targets out of the backfield. They are expecting him to get the carries and be productive in today's game. How do the Chiefs respond to the injuries? And football is so much of an attrition sport. It's not if you're going to deal with injuries, it's when. We know what the injuries are with this team. They are going into Monday Night Football against a competitive team. I'm not here to tell you that the Saints are good. In fact, I don't really know who's good right now in the National Football League. But the Saints are a viable, scrappy, competitive team. The Saints are a team that's capable of beating any team in the National Football League. They are also a team that are capable of losing to any team in the National Football League. You are going in to play that team with a different left tackle than you started the season with, running back injuries, wide receiver injuries, some guys banged up on defense. You just got to figure out a way to get to the bye week. And it's not the worst thing in the world, but you're feeling going into the bye week at 5-0, and you can take a little bit of a break, get ready for the game on the road against San Francisco, hopefully start to get some guys back healthy, start to behind the scenes figure out some trades, bring some guys in to work out. You are going to feel a lot different over the course of the next 13 days when you can 100% focus on the Royals, and the Chiefs are sitting at 5-0 as one of the last undefeated teams that are left. There's one team in between that tonight, Monday Night Football against New Orleans Saints. All right, coming up in just a bit, we're going to be joined by our guy, Josh Vernier, our Royals insider. But before we do that, Rob, it has been so long since we've done this. We've never had this before. We need a playoff edition of a random lineup.
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals.
Today's Random Royals line takes us back to 1980, where the Royals and Yankees were playing a playoff game on this date. Here is your Random Royals lineup from a 7-2 Royals win.
That's what we need today, 7-2 win.
Leading off in left field, Willie Wilson.
Hey, Willie Wilson.
Batting second, the shortstop, UL Washington.
UL.
Batting third, the Hall of Famer, the third baseman, George Brett.
What do you think the UL and UL Washington stands for?
That's a great question.
Let's find that out later. What do you think the U stands for? I'm going to go with Ulysses. That sounds like an old gentleman black man name.
It says his full name on Baseball Reference, just UL.
Nah, he definitely has a name.
Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Hal McRae. Batting fifth in center field, Amos Otis.
Famous Amos Otis, Royals Hall of Famer.
Batting sixth in right field, John Wathan.
This team was loaded.
Batting seventh at first base, Willie Akins. Batting eighth behind the plate, Darryl Porter. And batting ninth at second, one of the best county commissioners there is, Frank White.
This team was good. You know how good you had to be to make the postseason back in these days? They didn't have half the damn league make the playoffs back in these days. You really had to be one of the 3 best teams in baseball in order to qualify to make the postseason back in the day. Things used to be a lot different. Coming up on the other side, we'll be joined by Josh Vernier as he gets you ready for tonight's Royals and Yankees Game 2. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey everyone listening to Kansas City, this is Chris Hodge, the longtime host of Sports Investors Daily, which airs every Saturday and Sunday. We have a bonus free pick for you tonight between New Orleans and Kansas City. All you have to do is text the word WIN to the number 545454. Text the word WIN to the number 545454. You get New Orleans, Kansas City automatically sent back to you absolutely free. And I know there's a lot going on with Kansas City right now. The whole world cries every time they win a game. I deal with that too, so I understand it, because every time I win, people are like, this can't be real. But it is, and it's been real for 19 years. So text the word WIN to the number 545454. Get New Orleans, Kansas City, Monday night absolutely free via text message. Once again, text the word WIN to the number 545454 and get this free winner.
Your coworkers might annoy you, but we promise we won't. Download the free Odyssey app and you can listen to us at work while you tackle your inbox or get ready for another meeting that probably could have been an email. Tune in late? You can rewind your favorite live shows to catch what you missed. And with Chapters, easily jump to the topics that you care about most, like the latest updates from your team. Your sports talk, your way. The Odyssey app. Download it today.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2. At T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
24 monthly bill credits. Eligible trade-in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credits. Stop and balance on required finance agreement too. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Using the Labor Day weekend to get some work done? We got you. Stop by any store to save on oil, fuel system cleaner, wipers, and more. Looking for an end of summer wash? We've got deals for that too. Don't want to leave the garage? Get same-day delivery on AutoZone.com. Do Labor Day your way by getting something done at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
There's new Tropic Bowls in paradise at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Enjoy our new Bahama Mama Bowl, inspired by our fan fave smoothie flavor, serving pineapple, strawberry, and coconut. Or dig into 32 grams of protein with our new Peanut Butter Protein Crunch Bowl. It's tropic time.
I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand. Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hey, Kansas sports fans, feel the rush of football action with BetMGM. We're giving you an odds boost for any pro football wager this season. Just log into your BetMGM account today to receive an odds boost token. Then wager on any pro football matchup and apply your token. Just make sure to bet up to the minimum stake, odds, and legs specified on the token. If your boosted wager hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM sports account and you'll automatically receive your odds boost token. Get ready to run up the score on your next winning pro football wager. Draw up your play for bigger thrills with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards has unrestricted funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome to your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by our dear friend, Josh Vernier. He is our Royals insider. Vern will be on the show every day until the Royals season is over. Vern, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, still alive.
Vern, how crazy is it that this time last year, I don't know where you were, but you were probably somewhere on an island. You know, you and your wife, you guys were sipping pina coladas, you know, after a tough baseball season that ended for you in April. That now every day you get the honor and privilege of coming on this show to talk about the Royals, and you're in the middle of a pennant race. How exciting is this?
It's a lot better, no doubt. This is a lot better than Mai Tais and suntans, man. Yeah, this is where I prefer to be, no doubt about it.
Let's just start with this, because I don't know if this counts as a hot take anymore. I am turning into somebody who is against replay in almost every single form. They don't get it right with the human element part of it. They also don't get it right when they have the opportunity to review it. Like, the point of review, I thought, was to overturn obvious mistakes that happen. Are those obvious mistakes still occur? Jazz Chisholm is out at second base. I'm not crazy in thinking that, right?
No, it certainly, it appeared that way to me, although I wasn't floored when they didn't overturn it. That to me was one of the classic, whatever they call on the diamond is going to be upheld, because there's no, listen, even for the angles that appear to be clear cut, to me there's still 1% doubt, so it's not going to be overturned. Yeah, it's frustrating, and it was written all over Matt Quatrero's face after the call stood. But it's happened already to this team 2, 3, 4 times this year, and to be honest with you, that play was not the most egregious. I mean, 2 come to mind, both with Cole Reagans on the mound earlier this season. There are a pair of more egregious missed calls by instant replay that have affected the Royals. I can't imagine the number around Major League Baseball as a whole.
I do want to get to this star specifically about Reagans. The bullpen was so lights out over the past 10 days or so. What changed? What was different yesterday, or I guess a couple days ago in Game 1?
Honestly, I want to give the Yankees a lot of credit to be, Angel Zerpa comes in to face Soto, Judge, and Wells. I understand. The pitch that Juan Soto hit was up and out of the zone. That's just one of the game's best bats doing what he does. I understand being careful with Aaron Judge and putting him on a 7-pitch walk there. I thought Austin Wells earned that one. So Zerpa, I don't think, was as bad as his final line certainly would indicate. John Schreiber, you can't walk in a run like he did, although, he did still limit the damage. He still got a huge punch out of Cabrera with the bases juiced and 2 outs. So, Schreiber wasn't great, but he wasn't maybe April, May, June, July Royals bullpen bad. Now, Sam Long can't walk the 9-hitter. That's maybe the at-bat or plate appearance that I'm most disappointed with when it comes to the Royals bullpen. Sam Long's been so good, I don't expect him to do that tonight. Lucas Erceg was the stud that he's always been. I'm not all that concerned with the bullpen heading into tonight. The bullpen is still, the 4th best attribute of this team, even with that great month of September and a nice start to the postseason. When I look at the job done by the bullpen in Game 1, what stands out to me is that game-winning run and that Jazz Chisholm play. And for as much as we want to make it about the replay or the bullpen, Salvy's the Gold Glover. Salvy's the Hall of Famer. He's got to make a better throw to Massey there at the bag.
Right now, we're talking to our Royals insider, Josh Vernier, joining us on the show. I will say that it was good to see a big hit from MJ Melendez. He hits the home run. Also, Garrett Hampson, he has a big hit as well. The Royals are obviously going to need their stars, and we talked about this last week. You're going to need your big 3. Your big 3 was a combined 1 for 14 in Game 1, but you're also going to continue to need one of those other guys to step up in a big way. Against Rodon, who do you think is the most likely player to kind of step up in that X-factor role tonight?
Salvy has the best numbers, but that's one of the big 3. Tommy Pham, Hunter Renfroe, I think will both be in there playing the corner outfield if MJ Melendez is on the bench. Yuli Gurriel, Garrett Hampson could be in center field instead of Kyle Isbell. I'll be anxious to see when that lineup comes out. I'm still putting Michael Massey in there at second base. So who outside of Bobby, Vinny, and Salvi would I think could change the game? Well, it's going to be one of the power guys. It's going to be Renfroe or Pham. Yeah, I'll say Hunter Renfroe would be that name tonight, the guy that can use that short porch out in right. Michael Massey, though, if that works as an answer, Michael Massey's been outstanding offensively and defensively so far in the postseason. He's, along with Yuli Gurriel, they've 5 consistent quality trips to the dish, something that hasn't happened all that much this season, certainly not for a month at a time over the course of this campaign. So Massey at the top, into those big 3, Gurriel in the 5 spot. You're going to get good plate appearances. They're going to make the pitcher work. So you feel good about that. But as far as a big swing, Hunter Renfroe would be my pick to click, even though his numbers against Carlos Rodon, nothing to write home about.
Let's get to the Royals. Let's get to their starting pitcher. I think the math strongly suggests if you lose this, you lose the series. I know they're coming back home and everybody's excited, and I'm excited as well. But you fall down 0-2 to this team, you don't get back to New York. The Yankees finish you off, and they win one of the next 2 games in Kansas City. If I told you that the Royals had their back up against the wall and you needed one quality start, you would pick the person who was pitching for the Royals today. I think if you also had to pick a park that wasn't Kauffman Stadium and you said, hey, pick a road park in a game in which you think you could score 5 or more runs, you would probably pick Yankee Stadium given what we saw in Game 1. I don't want to say this is a great spot for the Royals because you're going up against a really good team on the road, but this is a spot in which you can very easily go in there and steal one and kind of take a little control of the series coming back to Kansas City for then 2 games.
Yeah, and it's all about Cole Reagans. You talk about that ballpark, and if we're being truthful here, if Giancarlo Stanton could run at all, that game on Saturday might not be close. That could have been a 3-4 run game in the 5th inning if Giancarlo Stanton could run, be athletic whatsoever on the base pass. No, the reason why tonight's such a big game is, not obviously. Yeah, it's a playoff game. It's a best of 5. And no, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Royals win 3 in a row. So I'm certainly not viewing it as if it's a must win. But your point is correct. If I'm going to draw up a game in which I think the Royals can put up some crooked numbers, and I believe the Royals pitcher can limit that dangerous Yankees offense from putting up crooked numbers, it's Yankee Stadium with Cole Reagans on the mound. It begins and ends, in my opinion, with Reagans. 6 innings of 1-run baseball, 7 innings of shutout baseball. It sounds silly, but this is who he has proven to be over the course of the season. You saw what Zach Wheeler did in his playoff debut this year, what Tarek Skubal did in his. What the greats do come October is perform at a great level. And Cole Reagans this season has been one of the best in the league. He showed as much against Baltimore, and I'm expecting nothing less again tonight.
How do you like, I guess, Reagans going up against this Yankees lineup? I gave you the stats last week with Michael Wacha going up against him. Wacha didn't have his best start. How do you like Reagans going up against this team that is obviously loaded from top to bottom?
Yeah, listen, he's not going to back down, and that was so very clear very early in Baltimore. He's a bully on the mound, and come October, bullies have a tendency to tighten up a little bit, or, on the biggest stage, we really find out what type of a bully you are. How confident in your stuff are you? And you go back to that matchup with whether it's Gunnar Henderson or Santander, Adley Rutschman. These were some battles, 7, 8, 9 pitch battles at the dish, and Reagans did not give in. So certainly, yeah, you miss location to Giancarlo Stanton or Aaron Judge or Juan Soto, and they're going to send it deep, no doubt about it, but that's not in the mind of Cole Reagans. The dude is confident, but not in a detrimental way, not in a way where, a tin cup way, to where he doesn't see the big picture. The cerebral nature in which Cole Reagans has turned into an ace over the course of this season is all the reason why, if I'm a Royals fan, I'm hammering that plus 130. You're giving me plus odds with Cole Reagans on the bump, man. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am on this too. I mean, just kind of looking at it from, I guess, 1,000-foot view. I mean, either the Royals or the Tigers are going to win today. I don't think that both of those teams are heading back home down 0-2. Maybe both of them win. We obviously saw that a couple days ago in the wild card round. Both of them were able to go on the road. I just think about the way that baseball is, and momentum is only as good as your next day starting pitcher. You got Skubal going for the Tigers, and you got Reagans going for the Royals. One of those two teams, if not both of them, are winning.
Yeah, somebody told me if you parlay that together, it's like plus 310. I don't remember who told me. Certainly wasn't a bet I made yesterday on a trip to Kansas. But
right now we're talking to our guy, Josh Vernier here for just a little bit. Looking at the odds, speaking of the numbers in Vegas, Vegas has the Yankees as the favorite to win the World Series. Do you think that's fair right now? Are they your favorite?
I think that's more of a reflection on the American League than it is the New York Yankees. Would they be my favorite? Boy, that's a tough question. I think I might be a little bit too close. No, I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess because they grabbed game one, even though Garrett Cole did not look like an ace, does not have me shaking in my boots if I'm the Royals bats gearing up for game 4 Thursday night at Kauffman Stadium. I mean, the Padres, man, I don't, to me, they have it all. You know, their bullpen to me is the best bullpen in baseball, even better than Cleveland's. Dylan Cease didn't look great at his debut. You know, that's their Cole Reagans. That's their Tarek Skubal. But again, Garrett Cole didn't look like an ace. I think you could make a better case with the Phillies. The Padres, to me, are maybe the better team. So I guess, again, that's a reflection more on the American League. If I believe the top two teams are the Padres and the Phillies, followed by the Yankees, that means the Yankees have the easier road. So as I talk it out, yes, the Yankees, I guess, should be the World Series favorite right now.
I've got two final questions for our Royals insider, Josh Vernier. He is going to be on the show every day until the Royals season has concluded. It is not my favorite postseason. I'm not sure if it's even the best postseason, but if you were talking like drama and theatrics, I'm not too unsure that baseball might be at the top of the list. Like, I love the NBA. The NBA theatrics don't start until you get kind of toward the end of it. The NFL's a little bit different. It's just football, but just watching the playoffs and just being more engaged with this baseball season, you see Shohei hit a big home run. You see what's happening between the Dodgers and the Padres and their back and forth. The Tigers going on this little bit of a run. You got Reagans and Skubal going on here. Baseball on a day-to-day basis might be the most dramatic postseason.
Yeah, I'm wondering, as you say that, because you're 100% right, I feel like that's more this postseason. I don't know. Maybe it's because the Royals are in it, but I swear, man, I'm locked in every single October. That game yesterday between the Mets and the Phillies, that might have been the best game I've seen since the wild card game. There just wasn't as much riding on it as the wild card game. But, yeah, I can't argue with that, man. 5 lead changes in game 1 between the Royals and Yankees. That's the first time that's ever happened in postseason history. So, you know, the numbers, the stats, the facts are on your side that right now this baseball postseason is as good as ever.
Vern, last thing here, kind of like a football game. Give me your keys to a Royals win.
Well, it begins with Cole Reagans. I need him to be an ace. Again, 6-7 innings, 1 run or less. And then if you go back to the loss in game 1, for as much as people want to focus on instant replay or Michael Wacha not giving you 5 innings, defense and base running, you know, the things that we've been talking about all season. I don't think the issues from Saturday will be duplicated tonight, but again, I need Salvi, I need my Gold Glover to make a better throw. I expect the Royals to be the better defensive team. They were not the better defensive team on Saturday. Juan Soto made the throw, right? He made the good throw to get Salvi at the dish. MJ couldn't. Tommy Pham couldn't. Salvi didn't make that big throw. So pitching, defense, and again, team speed, right? I'm all for being aggressive on the base paths, but Salvador Perez does not warrant the green light. I don't expect Vance Wilson to make that mistake again. and he can't afford to make that mistake again, right? Pitching, defense, and team speed. The Royals must be superior in those three facets, or else they're going to come out on the losing end, just like they did in Game 1.
That is our guy, Josh Vernier, joining us on the show today. He will be on the show every day left of the Royals baseball season. Vern, man, excited for a special Monday here in Kansas City with the Royals and Chiefs playing at the same time, man. Happy to catch your postgame show and pregame show later on today.
Yes, sir. Over on the Fan, AM 610, beginning at 5:30. C-Dot, I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. That is our guy, Josh Vernier, joining us on the show today. I do want to get back to baseball here coming up in a little bit. We're going to bounce back and forth all day. As you guys can imagine, we're off a little bit earlier than normal today. We're off at 4 because of Chiefs pregame. For those of you that are heading out to the stadium, have a great time out there. Should be a special night in Kansas City with both the Royals in a postseason game and the Kansas City Chiefs hosting Monday Night Football later tonight against the Saints. All right, I want to do something a little bit different. We don't usually get the opportunity to do this because of the way the schedule and the way that the books work. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a 6-pack of props to bet on today's game. I personally am staying away from either the Chiefs or the Saints. The NFL is just too random for me. I don't have a great feel either way. I think the Chiefs are going to win, but underdogs have just been cashing at such a huge number right now in the league. I'm just going to stay away from that. But that doesn't mean that you can't find value elsewhere. I definitely think that there is value in this game. I'm going to give you 3 props that I like for today. Rob's going to give you 3 props that he likes for today. And let's see if we can help you out a little bit. All right, the first prop that I am going to take, everybody is on Alvin Kamara today, and I get it. He has been one of the most productive running backs so far in the league. Have you been watching what the Chiefs have done to running backs this entire season? His yards from scrimmage are 105. When was the last time that a running back did that against the Kansas City Chiefs? I don't think that's the way that this game is going to play. I got all the respect in the world for Alvin Kamara. Those are my kind of backs. Guys that can catch it out of the backfield, guys that can run a little bit. I love Kamara's ability. I'm taking the under on 105 yards today. I don't think he does that. I think the Chiefs continue to do what they have done for basically a year and a half and bottle up running backs. I think he maybe has like 75 or 80 yards from scrimmage. I believe that we come on here tomorrow and talk about how well the Chiefs did in stopping the run and forcing the Saints to be one-dimensional. Look at what they did to Derrick Henry. Look at what they did to J.K. Dobbins. Look at what they have done to Moss and Chase Brown, who play for the Cincinnati Bengals. They have a history and track record of doing that this season. No reason for me to think that changes. I'm going to take the under on Alvin Kamara. It is right now at 104.5 yards. Give me the under.
I told you guys this on Friday. I'm going to stick with it today. Kareem Hunt, anytime touchdown. It's plus 130. We can joke about the script writers and if the NFL knows what's coming or whatever, but the story is written. Kareem Hunt returns to Kansas City after a big game and has a touchdown. But beyond the existential stuff, man, who else is going to score for this football team? Carson Steele lost his job. Samaje Perine, I believe his rushing touchdowns is going to continue to be marginal this season. Patrick Mahomes is throwing to plumbers and insurance agents out there outside of Travis Kelce. Someone's going to have to get in the end zone for this team to win, and you're giving me a starting running back at plus money? Kareem Hunt, plus 130, anytime touchdown. It is written in the stars. It seems like a layup. That is my first player prop, Carrington.
All right. Excuse me. In that same vein that I took with Alvin Kamara and taking his under on rushing and receiving yards, I'm going to take the over on Kareem Hunt. Now, I'll give you a couple different options depending on how, I guess, risky you want to be with it. You can just take his rushing yards in this game that are at 48.5. Or if you want to give yourself a little bit more room, you can take the rushing and receiving yards. It's at 66.5. So maybe he has, 40 yards rushing, but he gets you 30 yards in the passing game, so you end up hitting the over that way. After you get past Travis Kelce, I'm not really sure where the offense is going to come from as well. I think Kareem Hunt is in that conversation. Somebody has to get the football. If the Chiefs run 40, 50 plays, That means Kelsey's going to get his share. They're going to try to get Xavier Worthy involved. In that scenario, that means Kareem Hunt touches the ball somewhere probably between 12 to 14 times. I think he gets you about 4.5 yards per play. That would hit you on the over on his rushing and receiving yards, or if you just want to take the rushing yards, it is up to you. I would probably take the rushing yards because the juice is a little bit less. You get that at minus 110. I'm going to take Kareem Hunt over on rushing yards, 48.5.
I'm also on an over today for an offensive weapon. Juju Smith-Schuster's receiving yards over-under is 17.5. Someone's going to have to step up. I know it's going to sound like a broken record, but the Chiefs are going to need players to win this game, and right now they have a low number of bodies. Juju Smith-Schuster's targets have been increasing over the last couple weeks, and he is a guy they know knows the offense and has Patrick Mahomes' trust. I don't think he's going over the top. I don't think he's having some 90-yard touchdown or anything like that. But 17.5 for a guy that we think has a little bit of something left, that's basically what, 2 catches? Do I think Juju Smith-Schuster can get 2.5 catches in this game? Absolutely. 17.5 feels a little disrespectful. So I'll take the over of 17.5 on Juju Smith-Schuster.
The last one is I'm going to give you one Saints prop that I like. I'm going to take the over on their tight end, Foster Moreau. It is at 10.5. The Chiefs just haven't done a great job against tight ends so far this season. We already know about Isaiah Likely. Kyle Pitts hit the over on this in the game against Atlanta, too. They also hit this last week against the Los Angeles Chargers. It's 10.5 here. That's one completion, and you hit your over on a team that I don't think that Alvin Kamara is going to be having a great day, so I do think they're going to throw the ball out there, and the low threshold makes me like the over on this one, so I'm going to take their starting tight end. His over-under is at 10.5. We need him to have at least 11 yards today. That's 1, maybe 2 catches. I'm going to take the over on Foster Moreau.
Great minds think alike. I like the over on Kamara receiving yards at 33.5. Derek Carr is check down Charlie. You know what happens with the Chiefs defense? Their linebackers don't cover running backs and tight ends well. Alvin Kamara is a screen getter. He's a underneath, make one guy miss guy. I think he might lead the team in receptions tonight because the Chiefs just don't get beat over the top, and Derek Carr didn't have the ability to do so. So I will take receiving yards only over Alvin Kamara, 33.5.
Coming up on the other side, let's get back to the Kansas City Royals. There is something that is so confusing to me about sports. We'll get to it. I'll tell you what it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products, we've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
It's the best time of the year. It's tailgate season, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time at Hy-Vee's Wine and Spirits department. This week is the perfect time to stock up and save on wine, beer, seltzer, and spirits during Hy-Vee's Thirsty Thursday sale. This Thursday only, get a 50-cent Fuel Saver discount for every $50 you spend on beer, wine, hard seltzer, and spirits. I love seeing the price at the pump go down when I use my Fuel Saver card. Don't miss Thirsty Thursdays only at Hy-Vee. Offer valid at Kansas City area Missouri stores only.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
Calling all Kansas City football fans to downtown Las Vegas. Join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for the ultimate game day getaway. Huddle up at Overhang Bar with 96.5 The Fan for our pregame tailgates on Fridays with drink specials and giveaways, including a pair of game day tickets. Then catch all the action at the world's largest sportsbook or lounge in the center of it all at America's favorite place to watch football, Stadium Swim, featuring 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. To book your huddle up experience, visit circalasvegas.com today.
Ready to take your business to the next level? In today's fast-paced marketing world,
Staying ahead isn't just an option, it's essential. That's where scale marketing comes in. We don't just help you compete, we make sure you win. Whether you're looking to grow, expand, or overcome stagnation, Scale Marketing is your performance marketing partner. We specialize in helping mid-sized B2C companies with teams of over 100 thrive. Scale Marketing is a full-service agency offering expertise in performance marketing across traditional and digital platforms, creative production, and data analytics. We treat your money like it's our own, ensuring every dollar is spent with purpose and every decision is driven by data. Our knowledgeable team stays ahead of the trends, crafting strategies that align with your business goals. Partnering with Scale Marketing means gaining a dedicated strategist and a team committed to your success. If you're ready to lead the market, visit scalemarketing.com today. That's scalemarketing.com.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? Well, Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has helped over 35,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares, and they may be able to help you too. If you were misled into signing a timeshare agreement that is a lifetime commitment, if you were told timeshare is a great investment or your maintenance fees will never go up, you need to get the facts about timeshare cancellation. For over 10 years, Wesley Financial Group has been dedicated to helping folks get out of a lifetime of debt by canceling their timeshares. So they created a timeshare exit information kit, which reveals how the timeshare industry works and what your options are for cancellation. Simply call Wesley right now and they will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. See how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Again, 800-761-0000.
This afternoon, expect sunny skies with a high of 73.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Robert Half's recruiting professionals use their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent today.
Chiefs fans, it's Trey Smith. Welcome to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
I don't know how to discuss this topic without it coming off like I'm complaining about the officials. Now, you guys know that complaining about the officials is the free space in loser bingo. And the Royals certainly did enough things on their own that are the reason why they lost game 1 of the ALDS. So maybe I need to send this disclaimer because I don't want to come off as a hypocrite because that's not the tone of this take. But it does need to be pointed out. I dislike instant replay because I don't think it works. I understand the purpose of instant replay. You want to make sure that you get the calls right. Do we think they get the calls right? Because in the rule book, it says that you need inconclusive evidence. I can give you plenty of examples that times that things have been overturned and nothing was inconclusive about it. I can give you plenty times where my eyes see something and then they tell me that I didn't see what I saw. And we spend the next 10, 15 minutes watching a game in super slow motion, and then we're unsure about what the call is going to be. Now, maybe that is just part of the build-up and drama and intrigue of it, that a decision happens and they review it and we discuss it and they go to the rules analyst, and maybe that is just a prisoner of how much technology that we currently have in sports, that you have the ability to stop and go back and rewind it and make sure that we get the calls right or wrong. I don't think they're doing that even with all the technology that we have. I don't think instant replay works. It would be better if they just let the human element. We're going to be mad and argue about it anyway. Jazz Chisholm was out. He's out. I saw it on the replay. You saw it on the replay. They didn't see it on the replay. How? It's just confusing. We're talking about billion-dollar decisions that are out there. This affects who wins and loses. This determines legacy, who advances. So much is riding on the winner and loser of these games. And I don't think they're getting it right or wrong. The worst thing that they've done now, Rob, is show us the little box when it comes to pitching. Because then every time it's on the corner, if it's your team, you want it to be a strike. If it's the other team, you want it to be a ball. Maybe we just have too much information and technology. They're putting up the win probability every 50 seconds, every time a pitch it changes. It's too much. Maybe I'm just getting old and I just want things to be simple. Because you know what instant replay is not? It is not simple. In fact, it makes sports more confusing and more convoluted. I might be the only one that is on this. You're thinking, well, we got to have replay to overturn the obvious calls. They don't get the obvious ones right either. They're just not good at these things. They have the same chance of getting it right with or without the instant replay. It's a 50-50 coin flip. It's like a magic 8-ball. You shake it, and you just got to live with whatever conclusion that they come with at the end of it. You knew that call wasn't getting overturned. They were going to review it and go to New York to make a call against the Yankees in New York? All right. You knew that wasn't happening. Instant replay is not making sports better. It's worse.
I don't disagree. But is the alternative just wrong calls being wrong? Like, we all as sports fans were irate, angry, and there was even petitions signed when that no pass interference call was against the Rams and Saints in the NFC Championship game a few years ago.
Then the next year they allowed them to overturn pass interference, and the refs just wouldn't overturn it, no matter how obvious that it was. You remember that because that's the biggest reason why they got rid of it. Teams started challenging instant replay, and they were going to stick with whatever call they made, whether it was right or wrong. In the end, it is people that are still working the technology. We all know that technology fails far more than not, and now you got people operating the technology. We are just never going to be happy with the outcomes of these things. We are always going to argue. We're always going to debate it. The best example I can give you guys, you remember this. This was in the Chiefs' first AFC Championship game. And Julian Edelman touched the ball. They said Julian Edelman touched the ball. Then they did a replay. It looked to me like he then touched the ball. No, didn't touch it. Wait, hold on. I've been watching this in slow motion. He touched the ball. No, didn't touch it. It's dead ball. Okay, all right. Instant replay has let us down far more than it has fixed things over the last 5 to 10 years. Over the last 5 to 10 years, when it has been a controversial penalty and call, they have gotten things wrong far more than they get it right.
I mean, I agree with you, but I feel like the alternative is we just accepting wrong calls. Like, that's not better. I feel like replay is a great idea as an idea, but in practice, it's gone too far. One of the problems with the play of the Royals game is there's 2 camera angles, and now it becomes subjective to a group of umpires in New York. Do you know the one sport that I actually think nails replay because they take they make it just pure objective? Tennis. Tennis replay system is just the ball did or didn't hit the line. We're moving on to the next. Let's go about it.
And that's all you can review.
The problem is every other sport has decided to implement replay in too many things. I think replay is a great idea, but in practice, we put it too many places. It needs to be, here's the look, yes or no. AI can tell us. Chat GPT. That's basically what tennis does, and it works. But you get too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, although they kept showing the replay center in New York during the broadcast on Saturday night, it's like 5 or 6 guys looking at cameras. You haven't actually enhanced anything. You've added 5 or 6 different opinions. Tennis works because it's just, did or didn't hit the ball, and we're on to the next.
Coming up in a little bit, I want to get back to the Kansas City Chiefs. Before we do that, it makes me sad to do this. Raise your hand if your college football team won this weekend. Rob, your hand's not up. I also can't put my hand up. Those boys got the beats this weekend. The absolute beats this weekend. I mean, we knew your team was going to lose, Rob. I mean, that's all they've done. That's all they've done for the last 5 weeks is lose. No one is surprised that KU lost another football game. That's how you know you're alive. That's how you know that nature is healing. That's how you know that the earth is correcting itself, that KU was back to being bad at football. The earth didn't know. Think about all the things that have happened over the last 18 months. You want to know why that happened? Because the earth was confused that Kansas was good in football again. It didn't know which way was up, had absolutely no clue. I was so excited for this Missouri game. Was talking to Rob about it all week. Felt good. Felt like the line was disrespectful. We're going to the playoff. Burden's about to get back on track. You guys have been too harsh on Brady Cook. I was denying what my own eyes were telling me. They didn't play well against Boston College. I saw it. I was at the game. They played very mediocre against Vanderbilt. And then them boys got smoked by Texas A&M. Did you know that Texas A&M averaged 8.8 yards per play? Just think about that. Every time Texas A&M ran a play, they got an average of 8 yards. That's all the college football we have for today. Let's get back to the Chiefs and the Royals. I got to be fair here. If we're going to do the roll call whenever KU loses, we got to do the roll call whenever my team loses too. Put your hand up if your team won this weekend. I can't put my hand up. Rob, you can't put your hand up. K-State fan, you guys had a bye. You can put your hand up. You're feeling good about your team right now. It's not feeling good.
Real quick, we'll talk about throughout the week. Have you seen next week's slate of games? College football's coming back up on the show.
Absolutely. This is a strong weekend.
Maybe not the locals, but
yeah, no, this is a strong weekend. Missouri's got to get back on the winning track. Who do you guys got? It doesn't matter. You're losing to them anyway.
Bye week, big one.
You guys might lose that too.
Big week to fire the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you guys might lose during the bye week too. Guys about to have a linebacker get into trouble off the field or something. You guys are going to still find a way to lose in the bye week. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get back to the Kansas City Royals. They got a playoff game today. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey everyone listening in Kansas City, this is Chris Hodge, the longtime host of Sports Investors Daily, which airs every Saturday and Sunday. We have a bonus free pick for you tonight between New Orleans and Kansas City. All you have to do is text the word WIN to the number 545454. Text the word WIN to the number 545454. You'll get New Orleans, Kansas City automatically sent back to you absolutely free. And I know there's a lot going on with Kansas City right now. The whole world cries every time they win a game. I deal with that too, so I understand it, because every time I win, people are like, this can't be real. But it is, and it's been real for 19 years. So text the word WIN to the number 545454. Get New Orleans, Kansas City Monday night absolutely free via text message. Once again, text the word WIN to the number 545454 and get this free winner.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here for our new friends over at Heartland Men's Health. Did you know that over half of men over the age of 50 experience erectile dysfunction, and it can also affect younger men as well? ED just isn't a medical issue. It can take a toll on your confidence and your relationship. Well, at Heartland Men's Health, they believe that ED is treatable, and their expert team is offering up solutions with a success rate of over 90%. I want you to take back control, and just for $99, your initial visit includes a medical consultation, some tests, and even a test dose. And if that doesn't work, then your visit is free for the price of on the house. So check out one of their 3 area convenient locations: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Men, do not settle. Pick up the phone and call Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600, or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com.
Fall in the Midwest is pleasant. The air is crisp, the temperatures are mild, and all is right with the world. But every one of you knows that lurking around the corner is creepy old man Winter. He wants to come into your home, put his feet up on the couch, and take over the remote. That's why you need to replace your drafty old windows with triple glass replacement windows from Thermo King. Triple glass? But weren't you told that double glass windows were all you'd ever need? Think again. Triple glass windows offer double the insulating barriers against creepy old man Winter than double glass windows. And their super strong frames are guaranteed to never twist, warp, fade, or fail. And right now, Thermo King is selling their triple glass windows for the same price as double glass. Who would do such a thing? Thermo King, that's who. So don't let this beautiful weather fool you. Protect your home from creepy old man Winter and call Thermo King today. 888-KING-WIN or online at thermokingwindows.com.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
If you've been thinking about selling your home, what's holding you back? Whether it's a bad experience or even a lack of experience, home selling can be stressful. The key is to trust an expert who has your best interest at heart, and that's Dawn Sharp and the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. Dawn is the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home, and she can even give you an instant offer if you want to skip the showings. Google my friend Dawn and her team at Sharp Homes Team and see over 200 5-star reviews, or check them out at homesforsaleInKC.com and start packing.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1. And literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get a $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you, already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty. Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for $1, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans.
Twisted Tea Blue Mountain, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
You can listen to the play-by-play of the Chiefs and Saints game with Mitch, Danon, and Kling right here on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome back into the drive on 96.5 The Fan. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very excited to be here with you. Let me give you guys the station plan for the day. The Kansas City Chiefs can be heard on 96.5 The Fan. The Royals will be on the AM side. They will be on 610 AM, so you know the old frequency. So if you want to switch back and forth, you are more than able to do so. 96.5 is going to have the Chiefs game. We will be signing off today at 4 o'clock to make way for Chiefs pregame. And you can also catch the Royals over on on 610 AM. All right, Rob. We talk about this a lot in a football sense, about your stars needing to be stars. If the Chiefs are going to win, you need Patrick Mahomes to play well. You need Travis Kelce to play well. You need Chris Jones to play well. We talk about that a lot in a football or a basketball sense. Baseball is no difference. Now, offense was not the biggest problem with the Royals. They scored 5 runs. That's an offensive explosion for the Kansas City Royals. Bobby Witt Jr. was 0 for 5 in the game. Vinny Pasquantino was 0 for 5 in the game. Salvador Perez was 1 for 4 in the game. If this team is going to win today, you are going to need a contribution from your core. The other guys did their role. Tommy Pham had an RBI in this game. MJ Melendez hits a home run. He had 2 RBIs. You got something from Garrett Hampson, who came in pinch hit and got a 2 RBI. Your secondary characters, your role players, your Daniel Sorensen, those types, they carried you in this game and were the biggest reason that you had a chance to win this game because of their offense. If the Royals are going to go on the road and beat the Yankees today, you don't need all three of them to have a great day. You need Bobby Witt Jr. to be a superstar and to rise to the occasion. You need Vinny Pasquantino to be that guy in the middle of the lineup that he was before the injury. This team has to figure out a way to get Salvador Perez going. He's been a little inconsistent with the bat of late. We know the Yankees lineup. You're talking about from just top to bottom, whether it's Gleyber Torres, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Stanton, Chisholm, Verdugo. You got guys on that other side. A lot of their guys were good. Chisholm scored a run. Gleyber Torres had a couple of RBIs. Juan Soto was 3 for 5. One of the major differences offensively in Game 1, Rob, were, for the most part, aside from Judge, the Yankees got the key contribution from the guys that you know. That's not what happened with the Royals in Game 1.
Does that give you more confidence tonight, or does it make you more nervous heading to tonight? Because I feel like I understand what you're saying, and in a football basketball stage, it's kind of a glass half empty, glass half full view. If I were to have told you in the show Friday, hey, Carrington, the Royals are going to get, 1 from 14 from Perez, from Witt, and Pasquantino, you would have told me the Royals got cooked. Absolutely smoked on Saturday night. You could have turned it off and done something else with your evening. That's what we all would have said Friday, and yet they lost by 1 run. So I think it's a matter of how you perceive it. Like, if you want to be glass half full, hey, the Royals were in a game and none of their stars were stars. They were right there and they made the plays necessary. They just came up a little short. I think the glass half empty is right there as well, Carrington. Hey, your stars are doing nothing. It is the brightest lights, and so far in this series, 1 game sample size, I understand, they are coming up short. I'm curious how you perceive it, because their stars not being their stars, the role players are cooking right now, but can the role players cook enough to get a win in New York?
Yeah, I mean, that would be great if you could potentially get those guys. Like, one guy I'm kind of looking at, I mean, Bobby Witt, they had 2 RBIs in the series against they had 3 RBIs in the series against the Orioles. Bobby Witt had 2 of them. Vinny Pasquantino had the other one. So those guys, I think, helped carry you and were a big reason of why you won the series against the Orioles. They could really use Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez hasn't scored a run so far this postseason, doesn't have a double, doesn't have a home run, doesn't have an RBI, hasn't drawn a walk so far. So Salvador Perez, who is the captain of this team, everybody loves Salvador Perez. Hey, man, this team just doesn't have many qualified bats. You're the guy with the playoff experience. You need a good Salvador Perez, whether it is throwing guys out from home or just being a better offensive contributor than he has been so far in this. You're just not going to be able to pull off an upset if you don't get an RBI from Salvador Perez. So one of those 3 guys today, whether it's Witt, whether it's Pasquantino, whether it's Salvador Perez, you're going to need a 2 for 4, 2 RBI kind of day, and you can go out there and win this game 5-2 off the strength of your stars carrying you and also you getting a quality start from Cole Reagans.
Speaking of that, the Royals have officially announced their lineup. Maikel Garcia back in the leadoff spot tonight with Gurriel, Massey, Pham, Renfroe, and everyone's favorite, Garrett Hampson in center field tonight. So looking at the lineup, which the graphic was just tweeted out by the Royals, looking at it on paper, what you're saying is even more staggering. Maikel Garcia, not a guy who this year has been inspired a lot of confidence. Then you got your big 3, and you got Gurriel, okay. Massey, I think he's been pretty good this series.
Absolutely.
And then Pham, Renfroe, Hampson to round it out 7, 8, 9. If this team's going to win a game, even 3-1, it's going to be Cole Reagans, which everyone knows, but you got to scratch across 2-3 runs, and it's got to happen from your 2-3-4 hitters. Like this lineup on paper does not scream 5 runs to me. Like, it is going to be Cole Reagans. How far can you hold down the Yankees when you look at it?
We asked Vern earlier today what was the key to a Royals win later tonight.
Well, it begins with Cole Reagans. I need him to be an ace. Again, 6-7 innings, 1 run or less. And then if you go back to the loss in Game 1, for as much as people want to focus on instant replay or Michael Wacha not giving you 5 innings, defense and base running, the things that we've been talking about all season. I don't think the issues from Saturday will be duplicated tonight, but again, I need Salvi. I need my Gold Glover to make a better throw. I expect the Royals to be the better defensive team. They were not the better defensive team on Saturday. Juan Soto made the throw, right? He made the good throw to get Salvi at the dish. MJ couldn't. Tommy Pham couldn't. Salvi didn't make that big throw. So pitching, defense, and again, team speed, right?
That was Josh Vernier earlier today. If you missed any part of our conversation with Josh Vernier, be sure to check it out on the podcast page or on 965thefan.com. We'll get back to the Chiefs coming up in a little bit. It's funny because both teams are going to need an X factor today. We're going through some of those names with the Royals. The lineup is out today. Who's going to be a player that they're going to need to step up? Also, the Kansas City Chiefs, they got a lot of guys who are banged up right now. McCole Hardman missed practice on Friday, but he did practice on Saturday. What's his availability going to be? We all know that Rashee Rice isn't playing in this game. Hollywood Brown's not playing in this game. Isaiah Pacheco's not playing in this game. So you're going to need some guys to step up. Both teams today are going to need an X factor, and they're going to need a couple of their key pieces to step up and make plays. Who are the possibility of those guys? I want to play this for you. We were talking about instant replay just a bit, how I am at the point where I'd be perfectly fine if they just got rid of instant replay and we just live with whatever the call is on the field. Here is Bob Costas and the reaction to some of the replay decisions that were made in Saturday's Game 1.
He's going. Swing and a miss. Throw is high. And Chisholm steals second. Checking to see whether it's worth it to challenge.
Well, the problem with Chisholm is the slide.
Yeah, maybe.
He lands a little short and pops up. And does Massey get the tag in on time? Yes, he does.
I spoke too soon. It's at least close enough to check.
Yeah, he's going to be out at second base just because it was a bad slide.
How about that?
He came up 6 inches too short, and Massey with the wherewithal to slap the tag down. Outstanding play. Chisholm had been 14 for 16 on stolen base attempts from the 7th inning on, but I believe he's going to be out.
He was not out. This is what I mean, that instant replay tells you that your eyes didn't see what you know your eyes said. Ron Darling played in the major leagues from 1983 to 1995. Ron Darling has been calling postseason games for over a decade now. He's telling you he's out. He started calling postseason games in 2007. So we're almost going on 20 years of calling games. This guy has been in and around baseball for 40-something years. Man sees the play, he's out. The only people whose opinion that matters on this play don't see it that way. It's broken. That's all I can say about instant replay. It is broken. It is there to convince you that you didn't see what you know you saw. You start thinking you're crazy. Like, man, was he really out? That was close. No, it ain't close. He's out. Ring him up. Sit him back down. Changes the course of the game. But no, we just continue to get things wrong on instant replay. All right, Rob, coming up in just a bit, let's go through some of the X factors for both teams. Both teams are playing today. The Royals, they're going to need a couple of guys to step up. You just had the lineup. We'll give it to you again coming up on the other side. And the Kansas City Chiefs, they are dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Who can potentially step up and help this team beat the New Orleans Saints? I also have a theory that the Saints, they are the NFL. I'll explain. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Using the Labor Day weekend to get some work done? We got you. Stop by any store to save on oil, fuel system cleaner, wipers, and more. Looking for an end of summer wash? We've got deals for that too. Don't want to leave the garage? Get same-day delivery on AutoZone.com. Do Labor Day your way. by getting something done at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
Calling all Kansas City football fans to downtown Las Vegas. Join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for the ultimate game day getaway. Huddle up at Overhang Bar with 96.5 The Fan for our pregame tailgates on Fridays with drink specials and giveaways, including a pair of game day tickets. Then catch all the action at the world's largest sportsbook or lounge in the center of it all at America's favorite place to watch football, Stadium Swim, featuring 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. To book your huddle up experience, visit CircaLasVegas.com today.
Have you noticed your neighbors getting new roofs after the storms that came through this year? Then it's time to schedule a zero-pressure, in-depth inspection with Century Roofing's trusted roofing experts. We will determine if enough damage exists to warrant filing a claim. See for yourself why Century Roofing has been voted Best of Johnson County for the 3rd year in a row. Trust the pillars of strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, your hometown roofing team. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly. Week 5 of pro football wraps up tonight. Monday Night Football in Kansas City. KC, a 5.5-point favorite against New Orleans. Total in the game is 43. And I do think KC should be able to win this game, but KC dealing with a ton of injuries on offense. Their 2 top wide receivers and starting running back all out. So again, I think Kansas City can win this game, but can Kansas City win this game by margin? I'm not so sure, especially in a game with a low total. So tonight on Monday Night Football, let's take New Orleans plus the 5.5 on the road at KC. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Your coworkers might annoy you, but we promise we won't. Download the free Odyssey app and you can listen to us at work while you tackle your inbox or get ready for another meeting that probably could have been an email. Tune in late? You can rewind your favorite live shows to catch what you missed. And with Chapters, easily jump to the topics that you care about most, like the latest updates from your team. Your sports talk, your way. The Odyssey app. Download it today.
Kansas Lottery Play On app. Scan your tickets for more chances to win. Kansas Lottery Play On app. Scan your tickets for more chances to win.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Traffic is brought to you by Park and Go, your top choice for all covered airport parking. A grass fire just reported on the southwest side of the metro, located in the vicinity of northbound 35, just past Santa Fe Street. They have closed the right lane to take care of that. Tackle your airport parking needs at Park and Go. Always the best service, always the best price. Open 24/7, fast and free shuttle services. All spots are covered. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated. I'm Lori Pearson for 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Patrick Mahomes joins CDOT every week during the season, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I want to get to X factors in this game coming up in just a bit. In both games, the Chiefs and the Royals. But before we do that, let me make this point very quickly. Did you know that there are 20 teams in the NFL that their record is either 2-3 or 3-2? There are 20 teams that are either one game over 500 or one game below 500. Now, I'm not here to fear monger about the New Orleans Saints. I think the Saints can win this game. It's football in 2024. I am picking the Chiefs to win. I think the Chiefs are going to win, but you'd be crazy to go into this thing, man, Saints ain't got no chance on the road Monday Night Football. That's just not the way that football has gone this season. The Saints, to me, they are the epitome of what the NFL is right now. There are no truly dominant teams, and Kansas City is a very good team. I don't think you would consider Kansas City right now to be dominant. Washington has been very good, not putting them in that category, not putting Minnesota in that category. I think we might be past the era of having those teams. The last really dominant team in the NFL was probably the COVID Chiefs, that it was just very clear to me, hey, this team is much better than everybody else in the National Football League. That was a team that was coming off a Super Bowl. They brought back everybody. It was just a unique circumstances that allowed the Chiefs to compile this much talent. They didn't have traditional road games in that way. The Chiefs just ran through the NFL. Since then, the league has kind of been like this. There's probably 4 or 5 teams that we all would agree are good. You would have to consider Minnesota to be good. You'd have to put Washington in that conversation. Kansas City is in that conversation. Houston is in that conversation. There's probably 5 or 6 teams that are in your tier 1 and then that middle tier. And right now there are 20 teams in that group. Man, it's anybody's guess. The Broncos are 3-2. Pittsburgh are 3-2. The Saints are one of those teams that the Saints are good enough to win this game that it would not surprise you if the Saints win. The Saints are also a team that none of us would be surprised if next week they lost to the Carolina Panthers. That is just the way that this season has gone in the National Football League. It is your guess as good as anybody. The Saints are a team that can beat just about anybody in the National Football League. They are also a team that they are not immune to losing to any team in the league as well. They are the epitome right now of what this NFL season is. It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be nerve-wracking because there is no separation from the team that you think is the 7th best team in the league and the team that you think is the 22nd best team in the league. A majority of the league right now, Rob, just feels very, very jumbled up in the middle.
And you know who loves it? Roger Goodell. This is the parody the league tells us they love. But, Carrington, let's be honest. Is anyone enjoying? I mean, Chiefs fans are enjoying it because they're 4-0. But you watch Red Zone, you watch other games, I watch Red Zone, I watch other games. Most of the text line probably does the same. It's not Chiefs and then turn off the television on Sundays. Is this better than having a few dominant teams we think are on a collision course? Like, I don't know it's better. Having everyone be caught up in that 2-3, 3-2 wash is just blah. And there's nothing good about blah. I know we can sell parody, and any given Sunday is more than just a saying. It's a thing that can actually happen. Like the underdogs, you had the stat earlier. They're really good this year, both against the spread and straight up. Like, oh man, the 7.5 point underdog Giants got a win on the road. Isn't that great? But is it? Is this level of just mediocrity across the league actually more enjoyable as a viewer? Because they're going to sell us it was a great thing in January.
I mean, I do enjoy the belief now. There are no games that you would consider to just be outright dogs anymore. Like, the dogs are more related to the quarterback play. Yesterday, Dolphins and Patriots. That's not a game I'm super interested in. You got Tyler Huntley and Jacoby Brissett, those two quarterbacks. You know that game is going to be low scoring. You know that game's not going to be exciting. But this year, underdogs of 5 or more points, and that's where the Saints are. They're 5.5 point underdogs. Underdogs of 5.5 or more. They are 16-2-1 against the spread. And those teams that it used to be, if you were a 7.5 point underdog, if you were an 8 point underdog, you had no chance of winning that game. Those teams are 12-6 right now. You got Arizona capable of going on the road and beating the San Francisco 49ers. You got the Giants capable of going cross-country against Seattle, a team that many of us think, yeah, the Seahawks are better than the Giants. Man, it's really turned into an any given Sunday. So I certainly hear what you're saying. We're maybe not going to get those traditional teams at the top like we got with Seattle with the Legion of Boom, or how good Denver was, or some of those vintage Chiefs teams that felt like they ran through the league. But, man, you got to admit, every Sunday when you turn on the television, all of these games are close heading into the fourth quarter, and you have no clue of what's going to happen, who's going to win, who's going to lose, who's going to make the mistake, who's going to make the big play, who the star of the weekend is going to be. You are right. The NFL, it feels more than ever, they have figured out a way to keep all of the teams close near each other, where the outcome of every individual game feels like a legitimate coin flip. And that's why I was texting one of my friends yesterday. Man, it feels like the Chiefs are over in this category and the other 31 teams are over here. Sure, the Chiefs have had their share over the last 5 years of a random loss. They lose this game to the Colts. They lose this game. They come out and they lose to the Tennessee Titans. Man, for the most part, what has seemed to happen to almost everybody in the National Football League over the course of the last 5 years, it happens to the Chiefs some. It doesn't happen to the Chiefs nearly at the frequency of which it happens to Cincinnati or Buffalo or San Francisco or Philadelphia or any of these other teams that we've been able to call contenders over the last handful of years.
No, you're right. The Chiefs are in their own separate category. And you're right. The games yesterday were interesting, and that's great for the witching hour and all those things. But, and you know what? It's very possible, me and only me, the only person that cares about this. If everyone's just in that wash, the quality's down. And if the quality's down, the product is less watchable. I'm not watching just for close games. I'm watching for good games. And there were not many good games yesterday. There were a lot of close ones because everyone's just in the middle. I think there are like 4 good teams in the league. Maybe less, and the Chiefs are in that category. The Commanders are in that category. And then it's just, maybe the Texans are in that category too. From then on, it's kind of just, I think they're good, but they have this bad loss. Or I think they're bad, but they have this good win.
Well, Rob, let me ask you this, though, just as a sports fan. Isn't that how all the sports, like, maybe this is not a bad thing. You and I both love college football. That's the way that college football is right now. There's a handful of teams at the top, right? Texas is really, really good this year. I mean, Alabama just went on the road and lost to Vanderbilt. You know, now Georgia, they haven't had a bad loss in a while, but maybe that's just the way that sports are, that we have seen the underdogs. Now they are more viable than they have been at any time in our lives, where anything can happen. That's just not the kind of sports that you and I grew up on. So you talk about everybody's in the middle. That's almost every sport that we watch right now. That's what the NFL is. That's what baseball is, where a team like the Arizona Diamondbacks can go on a run and make the World Series. The Tigers can go on a run and make the World Series. In college basketball, where St. Peter's can now go to the Elite Eight. Maybe this is just an example of the floor of sports is just higher than it's ever been before because the results are more random than they've ever been before. You and I grew up in a world where you would have never thought that a 16 could beat a 1. That's happened in 2 of the last 5 years of the NCAA tournament.
I love your point there. I'm all for the idea that the floor is rising in the NFL. Because outside of really the Panthers, there's no just dog in the league. Everyone's kind of just okay. But as the floor has raised, has the ceiling? Like you mentioned earlier, there's no juggernaut in the league. If this Chiefs team took on the 2020 Chiefs team, I think the 2020 Chiefs team absolutely roasts this team. And that's the last time we saw a team at the top end like that in the NFL. So I'm all for across all sports, the floor rising. Like, less dogs is better, but if the ceiling doesn't rise and suddenly the 1 seed in the AFC is 12-5, are we really going to look back at that season and go, man, what a great season of football? The Chiefs went 13-4 or the 1 seed, but they did lose these games we can't really explain. I don't know what's better, but I'm all for the floor being raised as an idea why it could get better.
Text line 913-586-7965. I want to get you guys' opinion on this. Let's talk the Chiefs and the Royals, and let's talk about the X Factor. We looked at game 1 for the Kansas City Royals. Salvador Perez, Bobby Witt Jr., and Vinny Pasquantino were a combined 1 for 14 in that game. It goes without saying that you're going to need those guys to be better run producers and in the middle of your success. You are not winning a playoff game on the road if one of those 3 guys are not a catalyst for why you can go on the road and win. You need a big start today from Cole Reagans. That's number 1. If you don't get a good start from Cole Reagans, you were behind the 8 ball to begin with. You're also going to need your stars to be stars. But we saw in game 1, you get a home run from MJ Melendez. Garrett Hampson comes in, and he has a big 2-out hit that scores a couple of runs there. Who do you think that potential X factor could be, Rob, in today's game that could be the difference maker for the Royals? It goes without saying. I think that today is a must-win game. I know we had Vern on the show, and he disagrees a little bit. I mean, the numbers are already not in your favor if you are the Royals. In a best-of-5 series, the team that wins game 1 wins the series 72% of the time. So the math is already strongly against you. All right, well, how do you flip the math? If you win this game, it is now tied 1-1, and you come back to Kansas City for 2 games. You got a game on Wednesday. You got a game on Thursday. If you can win a 2-game series at home, you are going to the American League Championship Series, and you are 4 wins away from going to the World Series. That starts today. I don't think you want to go back to New York. I also don't know if you are going back to New York if you don't figure out a way to win today. This feels like that pivotal game where you got a chance to eliminate the advantage that the Yankees have. You got a chance to cut them off at the knees, so to speak, and turn the advantage back to you, where now they have to go on the road and they have to steal a game from you to get it back to New York, or they could just win both of those games. But if this comes back 1-1, the Royals are winning 1 of their 2 games in Kansas City. Who is the X factor that you think needs to step up for the Royals in this game, that if they're going to steal game 2 as the underdog, who do you think is going to need to step up?
So define X factor, because I think the answer is Michael Massey. Now, if you want to tell me, hey, Michael Massey is like, it's like 1 then 1A for him being just outside of that big 3 and he doesn't count, that's fine. If you're going to say he's too important to the offense and he's too important to the team,
he counts.
That's fine.
He
but
absolutely counts.
To me, the answer is Michael Massey. He's been really good in the playoffs. Like, from the leadoff spot, which is not where he's at tonight, but in the playoffs, he's 5 of 13, including a double in the Orioles game to lead that game off in game 2. He scored, I believe that's game 2. He also near homered at Yankee Stadium, and as much as I think Yankee Stadium is a Mickey Mouse beer league softball ballpark, it is to the advantage of left-hand hitters. It is really dumb that you can hit it 316 feet and be a homer. I get that, but you know what? Michael Massey could be a guy who takes advantage of that short porch out and right. So I don't know. I love him out of the leadoff spot. I would have liked to see him stick there, even against a lefty, but Michael Massey is a guy who I look at tonight as being an X factor. Maybe in a run-producing spot in the middle of the lineup, gets a big hit that brings in a Witt Jr. or a Perez and kind of makes the lineup feel longer. So if you had to ask me, I'd say Michael Massey is my X factor in tonight's Royals game.
I like Michael Massey a lot. I think he makes a lot of sense to be an X factor in this game. I'm going to go in that same vein and say Tommy Pham. I think he has a chance to kind of be that guy further down in the lineup, to have a big double that gets the Royals ahead 5-3 in this, and then you trust the bullpen. It just feels like they're going to need another great game from one of those individuals. I mean, MJ Melendez, for him to hit a home run in that scenario, hey, big home run in that spot, that's a game that you certainly hope to win. That's not what happened. They also just have to be better pitching. I mean, the bullpen let them down. They also had 8 walks in the game as well. So I have my issues with the way that instant replay was used and how it was called in game 1. But, man, the Royals did a lot of other things to lose that game as well. If your 2, 3, and 4 hitter are going to go 1 for 14 at the plate, and you're also going to have 8 walks, and 7 leadoff hitters for the Yankees are going to get on base, you're not winning that game against the New York Yankees on the road. You're certainly not expecting that today with Cole Reagans. You expect to get a better pitching performance than you got in game 1 when you had Michael Wacha. Let's see if that happens later tonight as the Royals try to take game 2 and bring this thing back tied 1-1 to Kansas City. All right, let's talk about an X factor on the Kansas City Chiefs side, on the football side of this thing. We know the injuries to this team. You're not going to have Rashee Rice. You're not going to have Hollywood Brown. You're not going to have Isaiah Pacheco. Who knows what the health and status of McCole Hardman is going to be in this game? He did not practice on Friday. He was a limited participant on Saturday. Could he be a healthy DNP? Could he be a scratch? Can he give you anything in this game? They also haven't really gone to him a whole lot in this. I mean, Rob, would you say there's only 5 possible options for this question if we are talking about the Kansas City Chiefs? Now, if you want to call Kareem Hunt the X factor, great. Makes a lot of sense to me. Kareem Hunt, I would say you have Samaje Perine, Xavier Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster, Justin Watson, and we could probably throw Noah Gray in that mix if you'd like to throw in another guy. So maybe there's 6 possible options of an X factor today, a guy that can make a difference in this game offensively and kind of take up those opportunities. I mean, one thing we haven't really talked a whole lot about over the course of the last couple of days, and I get it in relation to the injuries. I mean, Rice had 29 targets this season. 29 targets. So think about it. Patrick Mahomes has thrown the ball 121 times. 29 of those opportunities went to one player in your offense. That is a massive usage rate that is now up for grabs. Now, you expect Kelsey to get a lot more work than he's gotten, and he got a bulk of those targets last week. All right, you now expect Xavier Worthy to have to give you a little bit more. I've always been a proponent of getting more Noah Gray. He's only been throwing the ball 9 times. Justin Watson hasn't gotten many targets so far this season. He's at 8 targets. So they throw it to him 1 or 2 times. Man, somebody's going to get the ball thrown their way 4 or 5 times today. I really like Juju in today's game. I thought Juju stepped up pretty nicely in the Atlanta game. He had that touchdown. I think Juju's kind of a sleeper here. Somebody that knows the offense, somebody who Patrick Mahomes trusts, kind of like what Justin Watson used to be. I wouldn't be surprised if Juju has a relatively big game. Not going off for 100 yards, but I could see Juju today having 4 catches for 60 yards and possibly scoring a touchdown. If you're asking me to nominate somebody, hey, who's going to step up in this absence? I really like the return of Juju. You brought him in for this as a fail-safe. If something goes wrong, a guy that knows the offense, can you step up and help?
I like Juju. I told you earlier in the show I like his over. Mostly think it's a little bit disrespectfully low, but I'm going to take Justin Watson as my X factor tonight. I'm going to use a stat you love, snap counts. Do you know who was second among wide receivers in the Charger game with snaps?
Justin Watson. Yeah.
Justin Watson played in, wait for it, 69% of the snaps against the Chargers.
It's a lot of opportunities.
A lot of opportunities. And we know from now multiple years of data, Patrick Mahomes trusts Justin Watson. He knows he's going to be in the right spot, and he trusts him to make a play. I don't know that Justin Watson is some game breaker. I don't know outside of Xavier where they have a game breaker wide receiver. But if you're asking me, who's the wide receiver that Mahomes trusts and feels like can go make a play? Juju, I think, fits in that category, but Justin Watson gets more usage, and usage is just the name of the game. So I would take Justin Watson as my X factor tonight. Now, again, similar to Michael Massey, if you tell me, Rob, the guy who has the second most snaps at wide receiver can't be an X factor, that's cool. Maybe we're just arguing semantics, but if you're going to play in 70% of the snaps a wide receiver, you're going to get a chance to go out and make a play.
Who do you think has more rushing yards tonight, Carson Steele or Xavier Worthy?
Ooh. Xavier Worthy.
Because I just say that with Carson Steele. I don't know how many carries and opportunity he's going to get. Maybe Carson Steele doesn't get a carry in this game. Maybe he gets 5 or 6. We've gone from, in a span of, I would say, 2 weeks of knowing what Carson Steele's role was on this team to feeling like he got his job taken. And now maybe you kind of give him a couple opportunities. I mean, at some point you have to give him the ball again, right? I know he fumbled on the last opportunity. At some point, he is going to get another carry and another chance to be involved in this offense. He is a first-year player finishing up his first month of action. The Chiefs are not throwing Carson Steele away. But in this game where you maybe need somebody a little bit more short-handed and you could potentially use a spark offensively, this has jet sweep to Xavier Worthy written all over it. Trick play, getting a little cutesy, trying to get him the ball in space, kind of like what you did in the first game of the season against the Ravens.
Yeah, that's why I say Worthy. Now, maybe Worthy gets less rushes because they do those little pop passes and things that are considered passes. So we talked about on the show and we're like, well, he got less rushes, but I think they're going to have to get Worthy involved early and often. But that's a really good question because not only did Steele's rush attempts go down last week after he fumbled, P. Ryan's rush attempts went up, something that me and you did not anticipate. So over a week of practice, do they trust Alligator Man to get back to hold on to the football, or do they give it to the aging Samaje Perine? I would take Worthy over Steele rush attempts.
I mean, this just goes to show you right now that Vegas is just uncertain about this as well. There is no rushing prop for Samaje Perine or Carson Steele. You can take Kareem Hunt or you could take Patrick Mahomes. You do not have the opportunity, at least on FanDuel, you don't have the opportunity to take them. I could see Samaje Perine being involved in the passing game right now. His over-under is at 13.5. So I could see him kind of getting involved in the screen game. I actually like that number for Samaje Perine. Do you think he could get 1, maybe 2, maybe break a big play? I actually do think it's worth a little bit of a sprinkle if you want to take Samaje Perine. One thing I think we know today, which I think could make it a little bit difficult in fantasy, and if you're putting a little money on today's game via one of the gambling apps, I think we know that there's going to be 8 or 9 receivers that get a target today. I don't see Travis Kelce getting a crazy volume like we've seen Rashee Rice. I'd be a little bit surprised if Travis Kelce got 13, 14 targets in this game. I think he gets 8 or 9, and then you see the ball kind of spread around. Juju gets a couple opportunities. McCole gets an opportunity to do something. Xavier Worthy gets a chance to do something. Noah Gray gets a couple of passes. Like, we've seen this kind of Chiefs offense and this Chiefs game. I don't think they're going to let one person, so to speak, try to replace Rashee Rice. I think they're going to let a multitude of people do it. I really like Juju in today's game to potentially have a little bit of a breakout game. 4 catches, 40 yards, maybe scoring a touchdown, and kind of seeing his role expand. They just don't have a lot of healthy bodies. They also just don't have a lot of receivers that Patrick Mahomes trusts. If you think Mahomes is going to throw for 250 yards, all of them are not going to Travis Kelce. Some other guys are going to have to eat as well. We are off today at 4 o'clock because the Kansas City Chiefs pregame, but keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey everyone listening to Kansas City, this is Chris Hodge, the longtime host of Sports Investors Daily, which airs every Saturday and Sunday. We have a bonus free pick for you tonight between New Orleans and Kansas City. All you have to do is text the word WIN to the number 545454. Text the word WIN to the number 545454. You'll get New Orleans, Kansas City automatically sent back to you absolutely free. And I know there's a lot going on with Kansas City right now. The whole world cries every time they win a game. I deal with that too, so I understand it, because every time I win, people are like, this can't be real. but it is, and it's been real for 19 years. So text the word WIN to the number 545454. Get New Orleans, Kansas City, Monday night absolutely free via text message. Once again, text the word WIN to the number 545454 and get this free winner.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Everyone develops cataracts naturally as they get older. When your vision is affected by cataracts, you should see my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein at Silverstein Eye Centers. Dr. Silverstein is a world-renowned cataract surgeon who performs life-changing laser-assisted cataract surgery with premium lens implants to correct your vision up close and far away. Trust my eye doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein, Silverstein Eye Centers, 816-358-3600 to schedule an appointment.
When it comes to car buying, you deserve options. So at Volkswagen Lease Summit, we have 3 incredible promotions to pick from. Choose no payments for 90 days, 0% APR for up to 60 months, or we'll double your down up to $3,000. Pick out your car, then pick your promo at VWLeaseSummit.com.
Inside the Huddle with Cody and Gold, each day from noon until 1 on 610 Sports Radio. Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue on the official radio partner of the Kansas City Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on your every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
What if I told you that there was a single management software that could handle your CRM, accounting, manufacturing, marketing, inventory, sales, and everything in between for a fraction of the cost of the dozens of disconnected platforms most companies rely on to manage their business? Sounds pretty good, right? Well, that's Odoo. Odoo is the end-all, be-all for any business of any size, and it's ready to help your company reach the next level and beyond. Learn more at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
Participating U.S. Wendy's.
Tonight, expect a partly cloudy sky with a low of 51.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Robert Half's recruiting professionals use their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent today.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Debris in the roadway eastbound 40, right around 291, and a 2-car crash southbound 35 right at 75th Street, though that is on the shoulder. I'm Lori Pearson for 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Chiefs fans, it's Nick Bolton, MIZ. Welcome to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Someone alerted me that Carson Steele and Samaje Perine, their over-under is not available on FanDuel, but it is available over on DraftKings. They have Carson Steele's, Rob, set at 17.5. They have Samaje Perine's at 15.5. A 17.5 feels like a lot for Carson Steele based on what we saw last week. Maybe it is an overreaction to what we saw, but the fact that there were 18 carries in the game and Carson Steele only got one of them down the stretch, that's 17.5. I don't see Carson Steele getting 5 carries in this game. I think he gets 3 or 4. I think Samaje has a chance to hit his over. 17.5 yards to me for Carson Steele feels like a really high number. I don't know if he's getting 20, 25 rushing yards this evening. I would take the under for Carson Steele.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. Or honestly, maybe just don't touch it. Maybe that's one of those where, we talk about gambling on the show a lot. That's probably a number I don't bet, because let's say he gets a 4th carry. Now you're starting to kind of sweat it a little bit.
Yeah, but it's also, I would say it's also going to be hard to, if you think Kareem Hunt is having a big day, you can't also think that Carson Steele is having 20 yards in this game too. If you think that Kareem Hunt is taking over RB1 and you think he's scoring a touchdown today and going to have 70 yards, you're also not getting that much of an opportunity for Carson Steele. We will find out if he kind of got his job taken. It looked like he got his job taken in real time on Sunday Night Football. Let's see if that happens. I think the 2 storylines today, whether it's the baseball side of things or the football side of things, on the baseball side, it's simple. Today is a must-win for the Kansas City Royals. You have your number 1 pitcher, your ace, in Cole Reagans going on the mound today. If you lose this, it is not realistic, in my opinion, to think that you can win this series. You lost the 2 games at Yankee Stadium. They now got 3 times to beat you 1 time, and you got to win a 3-game sweep against the New York Yankees. You guys can call me Debbie Downer, Nancy Negative, whatever you want to throw the term out there. I don't like the Royals' chances if they go down 0-2, even though they are coming back home. Now, if you win this game and now you have a guaranteed game on Wednesday and Thursday, you got a shot. We talk about a puncher's chance. That's your puncher's chance. You win 2 games against the Yankees at home. One of those games is going to be pitched by Seth Lugo, and you are going to the American League Championship Series to play a team, whether it's the Guardians or whether it's the Tigers. That is the definition of a coin flip. I don't care what happened in the regular season amongst those 3 teams. I don't even care which team is playing hot, which team is not playing hot. You are 2 teams that have played each other 13 times this year, and every game was close and competitive. That is the definition of a series that goes 6 or possibly 7 if you can get through these next 2 days. But you got to take it 1 game at a time, and you can't get there until you get through with this. The Royals have to win today. Today is a must-win game for the Royals. And on the Chiefs side, Rob, I think the story is today's game is about Kareem Hunt. Today's game is about Kareem Hunt coming back to Kansas City and the Chiefs needing Kareem Hunt today. He is not one of those secondary players. He is not one of those guys that, it'd be great if you got a contribution for a team that is as banged up as the Chiefs are. They went from this guy not being on the team to really being reliant in his productivity to help them win a game on Monday Night Football against a capable football team. The Saints are good. Good in like a relative NFL sense. They're not embarrassing. They're not bad. They're not going to pick in the top 10. That's a team that could win their division. That's a team that could grab one of the wild card spots in the NFC. They have the same chance as 11 other teams currently in the NFC. They are certainly capable of coming on the road and winning this game. You need a good game from Kareem Hunt. If he gives you 70 rushing yards, catches it out of the backfield a little bit, holds on to the football, if this team can protect the ball and continue to rely and lean on the defense that has been one of the 5 best in the National Football League, you win this game today against the Saints. I don't have to tell you guys, this is just how Chiefs games have gone over the course of the last 18 months. I mean, it's going to be close. We know that going into the 4th quarter. When was the last time, aside from the Miami game in the playoffs, that you could just hey, you know what? I'm going to go to bed early because the Chiefs have this in the books. No, that's not the way the Chiefs games go. It's going to be 27-24. It's going to be 24-21. I trust the Chiefs to make fewer mistakes than I trust the Saints. I also don't trust Derek Carr enough, certainly not with his history, to go on the road on Monday Night Football and get a win on a city right now that is on fire for its football team and its baseball team. So I don't like the Saints' chances today. But a big reason is just, I think even with the injuries, I still think they have a chance to remain balanced. I think you're going to see a better version of Travis Kelce because they're going to have to focus in on him and him having a good day. I think you'll get the contribution from some of the other pieces in this wide receiver room. And I also think that Kareem Hunt's going to play well. You can just see the storyline writing itself. Kareem Hunt has 65 yards rushing, has another 30 through the air, almost had 100 yards. He scores a touchdown back in Arrowhead. You get the chants from the crowd. You can just see the storyline writing itself for today. I'm really expecting him to show out. And for a guy who has talked about redemption and second chances and wanting to prove it, man, there's possibly no other bigger stage on the regular season than you step up really big and play well on Monday Night Football.
I mean, we almost went 2 hours before I got all negative, but here we go. I got something. You said you trust the Chiefs to make less mistakes today than the Saints.
I do.
Why? What about the 2024 season has made you think the Chiefs are going to play some clean, mistake-free football?
Kareem Hunt doesn't fumble the ball. Carson Steele does fumble the ball.
Their quarterback throws it to the wrong team once a game. He has, in 4 games, 4 picks. He is the best quarterback on the planet. I would trade him for no one. He is transcendent. I could talk for another 10 minutes about Patrick Mahomes. But in 2024, you know what he's not? Cautious with the football. So when you say Derek Carr is going to turn it over, I trust the Chiefs won't. Why? Their quarterback is more turnover prone than the opponent.
Sounds to me like you're taking the Saints to pull off the upset today.
I like it close. I think 5.5 is nonsensical. I would take the Saints plus 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, I think just given the way the NFL is gone, I think you have to take the Saints to keep this game close. I'm not picking the Saints to win this game, though. This just feels like a game to me that the Chiefs, they just got one more grinded out kind of game. Let's win this game. Let's reset. You got Taylor coming into town. Her and Travis are going to be off the grid for the next couple of days because they're spending time together. Patrick and his family are going to go somewhere. Let's come back after the bye week and let's get ready for San Francisco. This isn't the difference in making or missing the playoffs. I don't want you guys to think that. But there is a difference in going into the bye week 5-0, feeling great about your team, even in the face of adversity. There's no better team in the NFL in overcoming adversity. The first 4 weeks of the season have been nothing but adversity. Your starting wide receiver was out. You found out the news about Hollywood Brown. The Chiefs were optimistic about Hollywood Brown coming back. Things didn't work out that way. Isaiah Pacheco got banged up. Carson Steele, everybody's training camp darling, can't hold on to the football. It's been hit after hit after hit for the Chiefs, but all they've done in the midst of that is figure out a way to win. You figure out a way to win one more time, you get 12 days off, and then you go on the road to play a team in San Francisco that I know has gotten off to a slow start. That is a team that is still as talented as anybody in the National Football League. I'm going to take today to be a little bit lower scoring than I think most people are. I'm going to take the Chiefs 20-17 in this one.
I got 23-17 Chiefs, so right on that line, but I think it's another one where you're chewing on your fingernails late in the game. I think the Chiefs get a Butker field goal to ice the thing down late, and the defense holds on. 23-17 Chiefs.
Are you taking the Royals today?
I am taking the Royals. Royals in the money line tonight, baby, plus 150.
Yeah, I'm on the same thing as you. I'm taking the Royals to win today. I'm taking the Royals today because I believe in Cole Reagans more than I believe in any other player in this game, and that includes Aaron Judge, who might be the best baseball player on the planet. Go Royals, go Chiefs. Keep it right here on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a